Welcome to It's Rafiq. In this video, we will discuss the chapter 2. It's a type of revision. I will not go to the points in details, just the main topics we'll discuss. And I think you already have some basic idea about HTML, so just let's have the revision. First, introduction to HTML. Before going to the language, first we have to know what is the full form of it. The full form is Hypertext Markup Language. It is a markup language, okay. And who developed? It's developed by Tim Berners-Lee in 1991. In some book it's mentioned as 1990, and in some 1991. As in your book it is 1991, so you will write this one only. And it is used to create or design web pages. It is a scripting language. There is difference between scripting and programming language. Don't be confused with programming. In programming language properly we can control the computer system, but through a scripting language we can control only the front end of the system, means only the front part which we can see. Why HTML? So there are many languages, C, C++, Java and all. So why we need HTML? If we know C, and C is more powerful than HTML, so why we need it? First, you can create your own website if you know HTML properly, and it is the foundation of web designing. Before learning any other web designing languages, first you have to know the HTML. Just like to speak in English, first you should know ABC. Same way, before going to web development, first you have to learn the basics of HTML to become a web designer and to understand the web. Learn other scripting language. Along with HTML, some other scripting languages are also there. For example, JavaScript, then XML and all. If you know HTML, then you can easily learn that other scripting languages. Features of the HTML, easy to learn. I think you have already know that C++ or C language, it was not that easy to learn, but HTML at least you have understood something. So easily you can learn it, it's not that hard. Easy to create effective presentation. When we design a page on MS Word or PowerPoint, there we get some limited features, but here we have penalty of options. By using CSS, JavaScript and some other features, we can make a really very beautiful page. For example, if we visit Spotify homepage or YouTube homepage or any other pages, most of them are designed through by using HTML code along with JavaScript and some other languages. It provides flexible way to design web page, and you can create link between the pages through hyperlink. It is a platform independent language. Platform independent means your web page can be opened in anywhere. It may be in Windows 10, Windows 7, maybe in Ubuntu, or maybe in Apple computer, even in mobile phones. It allows to add graphic, that means animation, images, audio and video to your pages, and it is case sensitive. If you remember, in C, if we write a variable, first one capital and second time if I write in small, it does not detect, it's showing mistakes. And for printf we can't write them in capital letter, but it is not same with HTML. Here we can mix it up. HTML editor. Now where we will write HTML codes, we will get mainly two types of editor. First one is what you see is what you get editor. There you don't have to write the command. You will get a software like MS Word There you will write as you write in MS Word, and that whatever you design there, it will automatically convert into codes. So you should don't need to know all the codes and all. You don't have to write long codes. Just as a word processing software or text editor, you will write your content, and it will be automatically converted to code. And next one is text editor. There you have to write the commands yourself, for example Notepad, Sublime or VS Code. And here also you will get some differences. Notepad, everything you have to write yourself, but if you are using Sublime or VS Code, there you can use auto generated code. Auto generated means, suppose you want to type body, when you type B, that other text whatever required ODY, it will automatically suggest to you. If you want, you can use them. And the closing tag, it will take automatically, so you can save time by using Sublime or VS Code. Now building blocks of HTML. First one is tag. Tag are the normal word or text which we write within angle brackets. This give special instruction to the browser. And inside the opening tag, we can write attribute. Attribute give more features to the tags. And element means everything from starting tag to end tag. Means from opening tag to closing tag, whatever we write, it is an element. And for example, first there will be tag name, after that one space, then attribute, then within inverted comma we will write the value of the attribute. Now for attribute value, inverted comma is optional. For some, suppose when we are writing file name and all, it is compulsory, but for some reasons it is optional. And the part which are outside the bracket, that is known as content and that closing tag. So in an element we are getting total three things: opening tag, content and closing tag. Types of tag, we are getting mainly two type of tag. Empty tag. In empty tag we have only opening tag, there will be no of. For example HR, BR and IMG tag, they are empty tag, they don't have any closing. And one more, container tag. Container tag means the tag which contain both on and off, or opening or closing tag. For example, these are A means anchor tag, body, head, this all the tag have closings. And to close the tag we write first bracket, then one slash sign, after that the tag name. Rules for writing HTML. As for speaking in English, we have to follow grammar, which most of the time I do mistake. So for writing HTML also, you have to follow some rules. These are: first, you have to close the container tag properly. Secondly, the tag name should not contain space. Now tag name means, suppose I am writing body inside bracket, then I should not keep space and write body. And there should not be space between the tag name and the brackets. Like suppose I am writing like this way, bracket, then one space, body, again one space, then bracket close, it will be invalid. Tag name must be nested properly. Now nesting means, nesting of the tag means, suppose I am starting two tag, first U then B, and when I am closing, at first we have to close B, means whatever I have start recently, that one have to be closed first, and which one I started at first, that one have to be closed at last. So that rule have to be followed. Now we'll come to body tag. It contains all the content of the page. Whatever we see on the browser window, that part we write in body. The attribute of body tags are busy color, it provide the background color to the page. Text, it change the text color. Background, if you want image as a background, then you can use background. Top margin, it provide the top margin. and left margin, it will provide you left margin to the web page. Heading tag, it defines the hierarchy and structure of the web page. Now in your book you will see the chapter name is displaying at the largest font. After that, the topic names are little smaller, and inside the topic also, if some part is there, they will be little smaller than the main topic name. So that is known as hierarchy. So in HTML also we can do this by using heading tag, and to insert heading in HTML we use H tag. After the H we write the number 1 2 3 4 5 6. There are total 6 heading levels. Heading is by mistakenly I have written, don't mind. It is a container, not empty tag. An attribute of heading tag is align, and the value of aligns are left, right and center. By default it is left. Now P, BR and HR tag. Here P tag we use to create a new paragraph, and it have one attribute, that is align, and it is a container tag. BR, it insert a new line to the web page, and it is an empty tag. HR, it draw a horizontal line on the web page, and it is an empty tag. HR also have some attribute. They are size. Size define the thickness of the line, how thick we want. If we don't write the size, by default it will be 1 pixel thick. Color, it define the line color. Width, how much long we want the line. We can give 100%, we can give the width in either percentage or pixels. No shade, by default you will get a little bit shading on the line. If you don't want a shade, then you can write no shade. Comment tag. Comments are very useful for the web developer. Normally when we write a very long code, at that moment we forget what part we write for what purposes. For that we can write comment about that tag. There will write for what purposes I have written that particular tag. In short, we can say comments are used by the web developer to give a short description about their code. In HTML we can write comment inside this sign you can see on the screen, and comments are ignored by the browser, or also we can say not rendered. B is not required here. Not rendered by the browser. For example, this way you can write, so you will give bracket exclamatory sign 2 days, then whatever you want to write, and again for closing 2 days and bracket close. Formatting tag. Formatting tag we use to format the text so that user will get a better experience to read the content. There are two types of formatting we will get, physical and logical. Physical change the visual appearance, and logical render the tag according to its meaning. When you are developing a professional web page, suppose you want to make a text important, at that moment don't use bold. Instead of bold you use strong. At that moment what happened, when someone will search that particular part on a search engine, your website may also be on the searching list. But if you write in B, then it will not treat as an important part of the page logically. So in physical tag we will get bold, italic and underline, and logical tag will get strong and M is equal to underline, this one italics. Some other formatting tags are also there. They are mark, it is to highlight the text. Strike, it cut through the text. SUP, it write something above the text, and SUB, it writes something below the text. Now CSS, it stands for cascading style sheet. It's a simple designing language to make the web page more presentable. There are 3 types of CSS. Inline, here we can provide the rules for the CSS. through line wise or through the tag wise. Means for each tag we can set different styles. Internal, here all the commands we write at head part or in the same place, from there we can use it. And external, we write all the CSS command in a different CSS file, and from there we can access it. And the most common way to use the CSS for professional websites are external CSS, because a professional website have many web pages. For each page writing particular CSS will be not that easy. That's why they are just writing all the CSS command in some files or one file. After that they use it from there. The syntax of CSS is this way. First we'll write the selector name. Suppose I am changing the background color, so my selector will be body, so we'll write body. Then inside the bracket we'll write property name. I want to change the background color, so I will write background dash color. And value, you will write the color name like red, green, blue. And if we have more property, then we'll write again property name, then colon sign and a value. After writing all the properties, we'll close the brackets. Part 2. In part 2 we'll get list, table and images. First let's come to the list. Lists are used to group related content together in a structured manner. There are three types of list: order list, unordered list and description list. Nested list also will get, but this does not come in the category. There we got in C also nested loop, same this way. When we make a list inside a list, this is known as nested list. First we'll come to order list. When the group of items are in a specific order, suppose I want to write top 10 movie name, top 10 country name, at that moment we need the numbering. For that purpose we use order list. We use OL tag to create an order list, and inside OL, after the OL we write li tag to add the list items. Attributes, we get 3 attributes in order list: type, start and reverse. Type attribute is used to change the numbering of the order list. By default it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. If we want ABC or Roman numbers, then we can write type equal A or small I or capital I. Start, if we want to start the list from in between. I don't want to start my list from 1, I want to start it from 5. At that moment we use start. And reverse, if we want to display the list in reverse order. Suppose I have created a top 10 movie list. There I want to display the movie names in descending order, means which is rank 10 it should be displayed at first, and which is rank 1 it should display at last. For that purposes we use reverse attribute. For values for type, these are numeric 1, small a, capital A, small Roman number 1, capital Roman number 1. These are the values of type attribute of order list. Now unordered list, when the order is not specific, when we don't have to add the item in a specific order, then we use unordered list. UL tag is used to create unordered list. Attribute, just here we'll get one attribute, that is type. And values, here we'll get 3 styles. Here we can see I have given the point in a list wise. There you will see a bullet. So in unordered list that we can do circle, square or dix. By default it is dix. Dix means you will get one black color dot, and square will get one small square, and circle will get one circle. Definition list, it is used to create a list of terms with definitions. Here for defining the definition list we use DL tag, and inside the DL we need 2 more tag, that is DT to define the term and DD to define the to describe the term. List CSS properties. Here we are getting some CSS property to decorate our list. First one is list type. Here we'll define what type of list we want. whether order or unordered list. List style image. Here we can define, instead of bullets, some images to put inside the list. List style position. There we can set the position of the list, whether I want the list in outside or inside that part. Tables in HTML. Tables are very useful to represent numerical data or information in a term of rows and columns. When we represent the numerical information in a table, it is very easier to read and understand. In HTML, we use table tag along with caption, tr, th, and td tag. We use caption tag to define the table name, tr tag to define the table row, th to define table heading, and td to define individual block or rows to the table. Attribute of the table tags are wide, height, border, cell padding, and cell spacing. Here cell padding means the content, the empty spaces between the border and the content of the cell, and padding, cell spacing, means the spaces between two cells. Table CSS properties are, we'll get this property, border, it will set the border to the table. Border collapse, it will decide whether we want to keep empty spaces between the cells or not. Padding, the empty spaces between border and content. Now you'll see cell padding and padding both are same, and cell spacing and border collapse both are same. When we use CSS, instead of cell padding we'll write padding, and instead of cell spacing we will use border collapse. So these two you remember. Images in HTML. We use img tag to insert an image to our web page. It is an empty tag. Images are very useful. If you are reading a book without any image, then it will be difficult for you to relate to the book or relate to that particular story. But if we add images, then it will be much interesting, and even the reader also can relate to that story. Syntax, img, src, inside bracket, inside double inverted comma, you will write the image name. Some most widely used images are JPEG, GIF, and PNG. Their full form: JPEG, Joint Photographic Expert Group; GIF, Graphical Interchange Format; PNG, Portable Network Graphic. And attributes are src, which specify the source of the image; height, specify the height of the image; width, specify the width of the image; alt, it is used to display an alternate name to the image if the image is not loaded for some reason; and align, to set the alignment of the image. And little part is left, part 3. There we'll get link and I think frames and forms, hyperlink, frames and forms. So this part is left, we'll discuss in another video, because this video is already above 20 minutes, and as I already said you, no one likes a long lecture, that also boring one. This note will be also available in my Telegram channel. So this is the group name, you can join that group and you can download it for free. Thank you for watching. See you in a new video. Till then, take care and bye.